Hello students, welcome to another day of 1302. This is a video guide for your rhetorical analysis essay, and as always you need several documents from the content folder, rhetorical analysis, and you need to pull up the elements of rhetorical analysis, which you've seen so many times now. You should be familiar with it. The appeals in detail, those will help you if you're trying to analyze Roosevelt's appeals in his speech. The précis is a paragraph. It's similar to Pigsack, and it is helpful if you want to use it to write your introduction. The only thing I don't like about it is that the claim is kind of sandwiched in the middle. It is okay to use that, and it is helpful, so feel free. You will need the Rhetorical Analysis Planning Guide, Pigsack, and then you'll scroll down here to FDR's first inaugural address. That is the speech you will analyze for this assignment. Here is a link to it if you want to listen to it. And then here's the actual essay assignment or requirements. I've added this in here. It's a figurative language rap song. And so if you struggle with what similes are, metaphors, personification, alliteration, this is like a really brief rap video that tells you those terms or explains those terms. And so it's helpful if you're not familiar with that language. You can also find the definitions for those terms in the handy dandy elements of rhetorical analysis. So let me show you the documents real fast. I'm not going to go through all of them because you've seen them so many times. But I'm going to show you the requirements for the essay. And so here's the prompt. It says, in his first inaugural address, Franklin Roosevelt makes many promises to a nation that has been battered by the Great Depression. In a well-organized essay, analyze the rhetorical strategies Roosevelt uses to make his central point about how to move the nation toward prosperity. What's nice about this prompt, it gives you his main purpose, which is how to move the nation forward. And so that's your claim. That's his point. Now, you organize the rest of your essay based on the different purposes in each part of the essay when you divide it. Okay, so read all the instructions on here. It tells you how to hook. I still would like for you to continue to use Cicero's structure, which is what you've been doing. It's a classical argument where you hook your reader, provide background information, or in this case you pigsack and talk about the persona, the genre, the subject, the audience, and the context. Context is so important because the speech was delivered in the 30s, early 30s, and so you need to know what historically is going on at that time period. Okay, that gives a little bit more insight into the speech. Now, the word count is not too bad. It's 900 plus words. Please make sure you adhere to MLA format and keep the language formal. Okay, and one thing I want to point out is you need to embed your textual evidence. Okay, and since you're talking about a speech and the strategies that he uses, you have to refer or cite those strategies, those examples. And so just do it properly. Don't just plop a quote down in the middle of a paragraph. You will not get a good grade if you do that. Or you will not get the best possible grade if you do that, I should say. Here is one way to embed the textual evidence, and you've seen this already. So I would look at it and make sure you sandwich your quotations where you have the context, the embedded text, and then the lead out. And again, there's the verbs. I also added another document that has templates on how to embed evidence, and it is called this figurative language template. This is really helpful if you're talking about figurative language as far as the rhetorical strategies. So if you're trying to talk about the powerful diction that he uses, for example, you could use this template. Just, change it up a bit. This is not a straitjacket. This is just a guide. It helps students who struggle with embedding textual evidence. And each example has, each template, I should say, has an example of a properly embedded piece of evidence. Okay, so this has how to embed diction, which are word choice, the word choice that the speaker makes. Imagery, which appeals to our senses. Metaphor, similes, if the speaker happens to use that. Personification, symbol, syntax, which is the language structure. So for example, Kennedy used a lot of parallel sentence structures in his speech, and so you could use this template to help you describe those. Allusions, biblical allusions, historical allusions. Okay, and again, you've seen this. Some of these documents overlap because I use them for different courses and different situations. So this is very handy. Okay, you know what you're writing about. You know how to embed the evidence. Now you need to make sure you do this. Go through the steps, and just trust me, it will make your essay run better. Make sure that you pick Zach and go to the 5th slash. List all the different personas and the different subjects and the different characteristics of the audience and the context. What are all of the issues of the time period? And so just think about that as you write. And step 5 is the most important because those will turn into your body paragraphs. So you divide his speech. And each speech becomes a paragraph, very similar to the JFK assignment. Here again is a way to perhaps organize the essay. Here's how you write an intro, and here's your claim. Okay, so that's that. And where is the actual speech? Here it is. This is the speech. And so you can print it out, mark it up. You can go here on the review and track your changes, where you highlight the rhetorical strategies and make comments in the margins so that you are familiar, or you can start seeing structure and how you want to organize the speech. Okay. And it's a little bit longer, but I thought that's okay. It gives you more to write about since you have to develop the essay. Okay, just by looking at it, you can see some of the, you can see this right here, this anaphora or repetition. And so sometimes it's just nice just to glance through and see what are some of the strategies he uses. Now look how he addresses his audience. President Hoover, Mr. Chief Justice, my friends. And so he starts with a little more informal language already. And so you would have to ask yourself, why? Why does he say my friends? And then right here, this is a day of national consecration, and I'm certain that on this day my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the presidency, I will address them with candor and a decision which the present situation of our people impels. So he's immediately is trying to gain our trust. He says, I'm going to be honest and tell you exactly what's going on and what we need to do. And so this is the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly. Nor need we shrink from honestly facing conditions in our country today. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive, and will prosper. So think about his tone. Okay, he's doing a couple of things at the beginning. He's trying to gain our trust. And he's telling us he's going to be honest because this is a time for honesty. And he's setting a positive tone. He's optimistic. Okay. Oh, and here's the famous saying. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Okay. And so go through the speech, annotate it, and write your essay. And you know where to submit those. Let's go here. Essay submission. Right here, rhetorical analysis, and that's it. Good luck.